Street racers taking over our roads and our social media feeds. It is a dangerous and illegal game that can have deadly consequences.
CBS 2's Alec Bauman investigates how social media is fueling drag racing and gets a first-hand look at how police are trying to control this phenomenon.
A man from Queens is accused of committing several traffic violations in Newark. It happened along Market and Broad Streets back on April 11th. Police say they attempted to stop Antonio Ginestri, but he continued driving at high speeds. After investigating the incident, police say they found several social media videos which showed Ginestri committing the same violations across the tri-state area.
Let me tell you something. You got these young guys out here thinking they're untouchable, treating New York City, my New York City, like it's their own personal racetrack. One of the biggest names you might have heard about lately, Benz, this 19-year-old kid, real name Antonio Ginestri, has been tearing through the streets, pulling crazy stunts for clout. He's been doing it for the views. Believe that, for views. People are getting crazy, putting lives at risk. And let me tell you, this guy is finally off the streets. And to be honest, not a moment too soon. So here's how it all started. You got this kid, Ginestri, better known as Benz, posting videos online of himself driving like a maniac through New York City. And believe me, I watched a lot of videos. We're talking about high-speed chases, drifting around Times Square. Times Square! For crying out loud. And you know what? This ain't even just a hobby for this kid. He's turning this chaos into viral content. Yeah, over 1 million followers across social media. That's a lot, man. Yeah, 1 million people eating this up like it's some kind of reality show. You see, in today's world, the more reckless you are, the more views you get. That's the game Benz was playing. But you can't keep taunting the law without facing the music eventually. 19 years old. This kid is 19 years old, driving around New York City like he's, a professional driver who's been on tracks for, and in and out of tracks. Because I did the NASCAR series. I drove a race car, no governor, around Daytona racetrack. No governor, myself in a car, a race car. But I had to go through a course and all that. And that's just on a round track with nobody there. This kid's doing this stuff in New York City. Listen, I don't mind if you're going 120 on a highway. Do I think it's right? No. But I don't give a shit. If you're in Florida and there's nobody on the road, it's 3 a.m, you're getting someone. Listen, I get it. Listen, I understand more than most people. I think you guys know that. But this guy doing this stuff to New York City, I think is just, man, because he's going to kill somebody. I mean, he's lucky he didn't kill somebody. Now listen up. Things came to a head in April of 2024. A few months back, Squeeze is out with some internet streamer. This guy, N3on. I don't know who N3on is, right? Well, they're driving around the city, live streaming like a couple of clowns. What happens next? Bam! The guy filming in the car behind them slams into the rear end of Squeeze and this N3on guy. On the stream, he does this. Can you believe that? Not only do they mess up New York City traffic, because let me tell you something, the accident there was crazy. But instead of facing the consequences, Benz bolts and drops off N3on like nothing happened. Nothing. I look back on this and I keep thinking about New York traffic. I know I'm crazy about that. Nobody got hurt in the accident. It was just him and his friend. But now they got a stolen car because he used stolen cars. A BMW, a Lamborghini. This kid can drive. I don't know where he learned to drive like this. Again, he's not a professional, but I'll give him a lot of credit. The kid can drive. And he reminded me of, you guys ever know the movie Baby Driver? Kid wore a thing, and he was a getaway driver in heist movies. It was actually pretty good. That's what it kept reminding me when I found out that this kid is 19 years old. Think of that. A lot of you guys might be young out there, and we all go through our phases. Remember that. I did too. But don't go through a phase where you're going to kill somebody. Well, arrests and aftermath, what happens? That's when things started going downhill fast after that accident. Everyone saw this crash live. It caught up with him. It was a live stream. The NYPD had it enough. They had enough. They didn't just let this slide this time. They were already tracking him, and now they had him red-handed. A couple weeks later, the NYPD and Newark police teamed up and nabbed Squeeze. Deputy Commissioner Kaz Doherty from the New York City Police Department even posted online saying, one of New York City's most prolific street racers is in custody. Wow. NYPD could have got this guy anytime they wanted. Once his channel went up and they seen him running around the streets, and they do, they follow social media all the time. They have teams of people, especially in New York City, that actually follow social media. And this guy's been on their radar. But what I think happened, you're gonna hear about in a minute. That's what I think is gonna, something different. I think is gonna happen to this young man because of what they got him for. But listen, when you make the Deputy Police Commissioner of New York City post about you, you know, all I keep thinking about, because I don't believe people's lives are over and he shouldn't be sent away forever, should have consequences, but he's going to be talking about this for the rest of his life. And I hope he changes and makes himself better for it. Check this out, guys. From speeding to burglary charges. Now, let's not kid ourselves. This arrest should have been the end of the story, right? Okay, Squeeze Benz got caught. He's going to face the driving charge. No. Squeeze Benz might be off the streets. New York can relax. But oh no, it gets better. Or worse for him, I should say. Turns out this guy's been up to way more than just street racing. In July, while in custody, more charges came down on him. He and some of his friends were tied to a string of burglaries in New Jersey, multiple gas stations, ATM machines, and other spots, all hit by Squeeze Benz and his crew, using the same damn cars he was showing off online. Not smart. BMW X7, that's a beautiful car, BMW X7, with stolen plates, was spotted in these break-ins. It's like the guy thought he was invincible, or just an idiot, of course, being 19. Looking back and looking at this whole, I guess, Squeeze Benz in its entirety right now. Listen, the kid's into crime. I was too, so I'm not hating on this kid at all. Obviously, they're not too smart. You're robbing ATMs, you're robbing handbags. I think something like they're going to talk about that next with his charges. And now you're going to post stuff with the same car online. I mean, I know you think police are stupid, but they're not that stupid. Trust me, they're not, guys. And these kids are just made stupid. This must have been like the biggest laughing stock in the detective's room. Look at this wacko. Look, oh, you think they got evidence? So where did things stand now? Squeeze Benz, whose real name I told you is Antonio Ginestri, 19, is facing multiple serious charges. These include reckless driving, eluding police, theft, conspiracy, and employing a juvenile in the commission of a crime. That's pretty big. He has been involved in several incidents, such as dangerous street racing and robberies across New York and New Jersey. One of the most significant charges related to his involvement in theft, including a series of ATMs, gas stations, and $38,000 in designer handbags. Authorities have revoked his bail. He's in jail right now, people. So he is currently being held in custody awaiting further court. The severity of these charges suggests to me he's going to face some time. How much? New York with the laws, I don't know. But I do believe that they're going to make an example out of him. You know, a lot of these channels do against the police. A few are now you're popping up are positive pro-police. And listen, like I said, I am a supporter of good police and a detractor and a critic of bad police. Listen, if you're out there thinking about pulling stunts like this for a few million views, I'm here to tell you, it's not worth it. You getting a few clicks today could mean jail tomorrow, and that's the truth. Trust me, the NYPD ain't laying around. They got more cameras in New York City than you can even count. The last count, I think, was over 25,000 cameras. So NYPD is not playing. They got technology, they got tracking. These guys, and it's only a matter of time before they catch up to you. That's period. You want to be famous? Find another way, a legal way. This ain't it. Ask Squeeze Benz now. He'll be sitting in a cell for the next few years, probably, reflecting on how this 15 minutes of fame went down the drain. Listen, the kid spends a little time in jail. I mean, I don't think it's going to shock him. I hope he has time to reflect. It's not like he's going to go to prison. He's not going to be a bad guy. He's not going to be a snitch. He's not, unless something happens in the cases. And I'll be honest with you, who knows what's going to happen in those cases? The one charge alone, you know, one of your employees is committing crimes, and you hire a juvenile for that. I'm sure he did through his YouTube channel. I don't know if that's for the crimes or is it for the reckless driving and they had people in the car at 16. I have a feeling it's with the crimes. I think that's going to be worse. And that alone, that one charge alone carries 5 to 10 years. Now, obviously, I don't know his whole criminal history. I know he's been in trouble with the law, but nothing major. Major, I'm considering like what I was, a major criminal. Listen, I was the most reckless young man you could probably imagine. If it wasn't for the military, me going in there at that time, I'd have been just like him. But I'm learning even at my age now, guys, that I cannot be driving like that. I used to like to drive fast. I used to like to do things crazy and get a little bit adventurous. And I get it, and I get why young people do it. Listen, I have my producer, Nick. You guys know him. Nick, you know, he's young. He's 27. So what does he do? You know, listen, he could take my electric bike and do wheelies and crap on that thing and break that. These guys are crazy. They take risks, and I understand it. But listen, I have a motorcycle. I have a Harley Davidson, big bike, you know, 900 pounds, a Road King. I'm cautious on that bike. I'm not going to go drinking and driving and get hammered or do drugs and stuff and go drive that bike. I'm not going to go do acid one night down somewhere and then drive home or something. I'm not going to do that. You think I'm crazy? I'm not. I was a risk taker, but now, and I hope you guys, you know, a lot of people ask me all the time, they say, hey, Larry, when you give advice, why do you, and you know they're going to learn on their own. I hope that one piece of advice I give a young person, one, sticks. And maybe somebody out there says, hey, Larry, man, good advice. You know, I didn't get in that car with the kids with the drugs, or I didn't, you know, get involved with these guys I knew were doing something. I never, ever told anybody to go and say, hey, don't do it, guys, or hey, you know, don't tell the police. No, I never said a word about any of that. I said, I want you to protect yourself. The people who are involved with Benz on this, and I don't know if there was drugs involved. I don't know if these kids are just really kids, because it seems like he was hanging out with young people. And you know, and listen, the maturity level on a 19-year-old is not the maturity level on a 30-year-old. It's just not. You know, when you hit 19 and you're a man, your brain isn't fully matured until it's 25. Yeah, 25. And that's not by Larry Lawton saying that. That is by psychologists. That's a well-known statistic. It's not my statistic. Everybody will tell you that, and they've done a lot of studies on it. That's why I'm not a believer in police officers too young or sending kids to war and killing somebody. I get everything that's going on. I get how the systems work, but I am not a fan. So if I could give anybody one piece of advice on this case, is think, and always think of an out. What do you mean, lad? How do you get an out? Let's say you're with your friends and you know there's a gun in that car. You know you shouldn't be in that car because these guys might do something stupid. You'll be in the car. You're going to get wrapped up in something. And don't go to say, hey, yeah, I'm not getting in there. I'm not getting in trouble. You could say something like, yo, man, I got this bitch on the line. And I could really, you know, hit on this bitch, man. You know what I'm saying, guys? And I want you guys to think like that, so it's an excuse for you to say, I'm not getting in that car. I'm going to go check. You guys go, man. You know what you do? Then you call your parents, you call some friend, you get home, And I will bet after a few times they're gonna not think anything and nothing's happening, nobody's in trouble or anything like that. But you are now being proactive in your own future. Listen, you're young, you got a lot of testosterone, right? I get it. Tell the guys, man, you gotta go home, you have to do something, you gotta pull a liquid, something, you gotta talk, hey man, you know, whatever it is, be cool. Go home and jerk off, man. Do something like that. You'll feel better afterwards. And you'll still be at home. You're not going to be in jail. Because I'll tell you what, jerking off in jail is a lot different than jerking off in your own room. Don't forget that. Be a leader. By getting in that car, you're a follower. Don't ever forget that. All right, guys, that's the story for today. Please, please hit the subscribe button. Hit the like button. Comment. You know I'm going to comment with you. I want to hear what you guys think. And please, give me your feedback. And give me the stuff that you want me to review. I get a lot of emails and I get comments, and my email's on my YouTube page, and I read them and I read comments. So give me some kind of thing what you want, because I do listen to you guys. I really do. All right, guys, stay safe. Talk to you soon. Maybe do something like what interrogations you want me to review. I was watching interrogations on YouTube, and I'll tell you what, police interrogations are funny. Some of these people are really out there. I don't know where there's got to be IQ issues in some of these people, but some of the stuff is really like dark. But if you want me to do stuff like that, let me know which ones, or any video, just let me know. Have a great day, everybody.